MovieWeb.com.
I'm her only friend. This is your home?
It was never a home when I lived here.
Rebecca's doing really well.
She's doing good.
She's taking her medication.
Medication?
Rebecca, something is up with your roommate.
What do you mean?
So I want to begin by asking you, the film kind of felt like a throwback to Single White Female and some of like those 80s movies and 90s movies that were sort of like that. Was there kind of like a tone that you were kind of looking for on the set, sort of like that?
Not necessarily, it was all very new for me. I mean, I've experienced little tidbits of things like this, definitely people in my life in the past, not now, who are like that. And I think it's interesting. It's a new take on it because it's about college and a roommate that you kind of don't choose necessarily. You're just sort of thrown into a situation with them.
Did you do a lot of research? Did you talk to college students that have this going on?
I didn't really have to do research. I mean, I've done years of research. I've had roommates. I've had, I think that everybody's had, maybe not a roommate necessarily, just a friend, somebody who's too nosy, too in your business, and who kind of wants to be like you, wearing your clothes, eating your food, being kind of annoying. Not this scary, though. Watch out, though.
Yeah.
Tell your girlfriend, be careful.
Exactly. Well, what is it about Rebecca when Sarah comes into her life? What is it that she kind of gloms onto? I mean, is it just, would this have happened with any roommate moving in, or is it something specific about her?
I think it's, she's on an antipsychotic drug that, when you're taking it, you're not psychotic, and so you think that you don't need to take it anymore, and then you stop, and then you go psychotic. And it's also her first time really away from home and, being independent, and I think she has no real grasp on what being independent is, and I think a lot of it may be narcissism because I think that they kind of look like each other, and so it might even be like a little bit scary for her that she's looking at this person and they kind of look like her looking back. Yeah, she's crazy.
I could see it be very easy to like take this role and like, sort of it becomes stereotypical. Like, what did you do specifically to make it not just, sort of the slasher roommate girl and make her really a three-dimensional character?
Trying to understand or to relate to her, which was really tough because she's not rational. She's not realistic. She is rational in her own mind, but it's nothing that you and I could ever see as normal. But really, the beginning, it's like she is a good friend. For all intents and purposes, she is reliable, loyal, trustworthy. She's an artist. She's interesting. She's like, borrow my clothes. I'll take you out and show you around town, introduce you to people. And then it becomes a little bit intense. But, she has, I think that I talked to a couple of doctors who were like, this is basically a breakdown of why she would be this way. She sees Sarah as her source for love or life, and anyone who gets in the way is threatening that life, which doesn't make sense to you or me necessarily, but to her it does.
Now we get started all over again.